when you add data to Arc Pro, it is symbolized randomly. For example, when I added these data to the table of content road drew in red, the farms drew in slight blue outline, geology and land use the same. So it's very difficult to see what is actually happening in the view. So to change the symbols or the way that they are drawn in your view, in your map, you simply select or click on the modify symbol, and it will pull up the symbology tab on the right hand side. And as you can see here, there's a lot of already predefined ones that you can work with. For example, for roads, it has highway, major road, minor road. For here, none of these are highways, so we can probably say minor road. And this is a predefined style that you can then apply to the view. But you'll see there's lots of different ones as well, so you can play around with it. To then change, for example, the farms, you can click on the symbol selector and you can change the farms. So at the moment, the farms are drawing on top of the land use, which is drawing on top of geology, and all look very similar. So the easiest way to do here is to simply have a black outline, and then you can see what is actually underlying it. You can also, of course, change these individually by double-clicking on it. So over here you can see what it is. Give it a label and a description. You can also change it, for example, change the type of symbol it has, but we'll just keep it on the previous one. So there's quite a lot of functionality within the symbol selector. So the farms are now drawing just with an outline, so you can see the underlying features. Now, if you now go to land use, you'll see that it's drawing as one layer at the moment, but if you open the attribute table, you can see that there are actually 4 types of land use within this: vacant, nature reserve, built up, and agricultural holdings. And I would like this to be symbolized accordingly. So to do that, I'd have to go to the appearance tab that opens up because I actually have clicked on the feature layer and click on symbology. It draws up this panel on the right, and this allows you to symbolize. So I'm going to symbolize on unique values because I know there are 4 types of land use. I'm going to set the field that I'm symbolizing on to land use, and here you can see I've got agricultural holdings, built up, nature reserve, and vacant. Now, these are the default colors assigned to it at random using the products, but you should really use more intuitive colors. For example, I've got agricultural holdings, so you can search within the symbol selector. There is nothing for agricultural, so it might be an idea to use something that looks a little bit like agricultural. There are different types here. For example, we've got open pasture. That might be an option. Or you can just have a simple green. So these are some ideas. Then you've got built up. So this is more urban. You can see if there's maybe something that's available for urban area. You can try residential. You might have some symbols that suit those kind of types. If nothing is found, you can simply use one of the ones that's already built in. As you can see here, there's quite a few different types. For example, industrial would be urban as well, or built up. But it's entirely up to you what color you want to use in this particular instance. So let's say we're going to use an industrial one for this particular instance. I'm going to make it purple. We go back to my color scheme. Got nature reserve, so that would be like a park. You can use the simple green for that. And then we've got vacant land, so that's fallow, and there's always good to use a simple gray for vacant land, if you'd like to use that. So you can use all different kinds, for example a gray, like that. The problem with this is that, of course, if you go back to your images, you can see that built up and vacant is similar, so we'll just change the color here. We'll change the color in the properties, and we'll make it yellow because that's often the color used for residential areas. And that should then change your view. So now you can see a bit more clearly where we have vacant land, which is the vast majority. We've got some agricultural holdings, we've got some built-up areas, we've also got some nature reserves here. in amongst the different land use types. If you want to have this one to not be visible, all other values, you just switch off the color there. So we now symbolized land use, the farms and the roads. The last thing outstanding is geology. We use the same method. We change the symbology. We can, of course, change it on unique values. Here, for example, geology is often in brown. You're going to do it on the geology type. There we are. You can have different properties that you can also assign, sort ascending or descending. You can label it. And you can change the color properties for each one if you'd like to. So now you basically would have symbolized all your different layers according to a more intuitive color scheme, and you can continue with your projects.